Hey, what's going? Oh, I started. Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? I had to check real quick. Episode 21, Eye Health. So this is Eye Reset, protecting your vision at all costs. Now, eyes are very important. Most times we don't pay attention to our eye health until something is wrong, whether we're getting migraines, whether our eyes are dry, blurry, itchy, or sometimes people get lumps on the eyelids, which are showing that the tear ducts are affected. Long story short, the eyes don't get as much love or maintenance or prevention until it's too late or until they become a problem, not realizing that these are some of the most important factors of our, I guess, human expression is seeing. Now, in this episode, we're going to talk about what is eye health. What is eye health all about? We will talk about some common red flags that you should be on the lookout for when it comes to your eye health. As always, we're going to talk about some micro habits. These are habits that stack up over time with consistency and being intentional to help with eye health. I mean, this is not just waiting until you get old and you can't see anymore. This is also for young people. This is middle-aged people and even older people. This doesn't matter if you're wearing contacts, if you have glasses, if you did LASIK or corrective eye surgery, or if your eyes are intact, you're 20/20. This is still for you because, again, our platform, the Nutrition and Wellness Guide podcast, we're all about prevention and maintenance from a naturopathic and holistic standpoint. We're flexitarians, so we're going to make sure that we're including diet, lifestyle, to make sure that we're supporting our eye health. We're not just going to rely on medications and over-the-counter quick fixes to ensure that we are taking care of our eye health longevity. And also, last but not least, we talk about the top 3 superfoods, my picks, that will also contribute to good eye health. Now you go, no, I'm a chef. I'm also a nutritionist. I'm a certified behavioral health counselor, and last but not least, a certified personal trainer. I'm like tongue-tied today. What's going on? And this is an episode where I'm sharing strategies and tools to help you with your eye health. Now, mind you, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an optometrist. So I'm not here to treat, cure, or diagnose anything that's happening in your eye health world. However, this is common sense eating and common sense lifestyle all over again. And this is to get rid of some of those myths and help, I guess, not beat out, but help give you guys a fighting chance against a lot of these companies who are spending millions of dollars on marketing to make you think you need their product for better eye health. I'm telling you what nature offers, and we're going to go over it together. And with the right education, and the right empowerment, you will have the tools you need first to understand eyes and eye health, but also to know what to do about it. I'm helping to, I guess, improve your circle of influence so you're not relying on over-the-counter or, I don't know, propaganda or fear to get you to buy a product that you actually don't need. And I'm excited because on Saturday, our Coach's Corner episode, we dig deeper. I have Dr. Como on, and she's going to talk all about the eyeballs. She's been doing this for decades. Respect her of age, obviously, but that just means she has a lot of skill sets. She's seen a lot of cases, and she has helped a lot of people. She's going to dig even deeper when it comes to eye exams and what the eye tells you about your body. Most times we think about eye and it's just vision, but eyes can be a precursor or predeterminer for other ailments that's happen in the body, diabetes, when it comes to blood pressure, even when it comes to certain cancers. The eyes being screened can really tell you a lot about what's going on with your body. So that's why it's good to see these specialists because they can see age-related macular degeneration. They can pick up on so many things that your eyes are telling you because, again, they're the portals to the soul, as people say, but also they are the portals to your health. And if you stay on top of prevention, if you stay on top of maintenance, you have a fighting chance. Let's get right into it. So one thing about the eyes, they are directly connected to the brain and to circulation. So when you're taking care of your eye health, it's so obviously it's right there with the brain. They're on the same block. So they share a lot of real estate together. So when you're taking care of your eye health, and again, sometimes that means having reading glasses, or maybe sometimes that has driving glasses, or wearing blue light glasses at nighttime to give your eyes a rest as you're starting to wind down for sleep time. Maybe this may mean doing corrective LASIK surgery or other laser corrective surgery outside of LASIK. Whatever that means, that you should be intentional about supporting that. So just because you have glasses, or just because you did the surgery, or just because you're wearing your contacts does not abdicate you from still taking care of eye health. And that's through good nutrition, that's through movement, exercise, and proper circulation and hydration. That's what we're talking about in this episode. We want to make sure that we have the right strategies in place to support eye health. So when we get into our latter years, we're still able to see sharply. And that's a thing. Trust me, it really is a thing. Don't let anyone tell you that just that age comes with decline. You can slow down the decline. It doesn't mean that the decline has to go off a cliff. There can be a slow decline that is controlled and intentional with proper lifestyle choices. Trust me, it's a thing. Now, when we get into our red habits, or red flags, my bad, I mixed up the two. There's three that we talked about throughout this week: blurry vision, light sensitivity, and dry eyes. So when it comes to blurry vision, I have here that it could mean circulation or blood sugar issues. So sometimes when your eyes are blurred, you don't know why. They're just randomly or occasionally blurry, and no matter how much you rub them or blink them or put eye drops in them, they're still blurry. Some science and some, experts say that this could be connected to diabetes. It could be connected to poor blood sugar health. And this is a sign that you might want to get your eyes checked out and get a screening so that way they can look deeper into what's going on. Again, your eyes are great markers and biomarkers to let you know what's going on with the rest of your body and some of the internal organs. Another thing is light sensitivity. So this is sometimes linked to deficiencies or inflammation. So when your eyes are sensitive and you're getting these big headaches and these big migraines, and you just got to close your eyes for a little bit, some people think it's just they're overstrained, which it could be, but it's a red flag, because this also means that there may be deficiencies. And there's so many things we're going to touch on as far as how we can combat those deficiencies as far as nutrients and antioxidants. You may have heard of carotenoids and other antioxidants that helps with the retinol and help with certain parts of the eyes. I'm not going to get into all that science. That's going to be for our expert on Saturday. But I do have a clear understanding on how we can support that with some MicroHabits and some top foods, which we're going to cover in a little bit. And then last but not least, another red flag to be on the lookout for, a common one, is dry eyes. Like not just allergy related dry eyes and not just poor humidity dry eyes. I'm talking about you're having issues with your eyes. They're sticky. The blinks, you don't get proper tear ducts. It's just dry eyes. No matter you're putting in the drops. I've dealt with this before. And what ended up happening was my tear ducts, the glands were blocked. And I was able to use some hot compress, but also I looked at some of my diet and realized that, hey, looking at my labs, there's some deficiencies here. So I need to increase this. And sometimes we think we're taking supplements like vitamin A and some of these other vitamin E and other supplements that really help with eye health or been known to help with eye health. But we don't realize that absorption is also the key. So the bioavailability of that supplement or that nutrient you're taking, it's good to consume it, but we have to make sure that our bodies are in a place that it can absorb it and actually do something with it. If not, it just passed. And that's why it's good to know what is a fat soluble and what is a water soluble when it comes to nutrients. So you know what to take with food, you know what to take with water, you know what you can take on an empty stomach, little stuff like that. And, we'll cover some of that. And also we'll talk about that with our expert on Coach's Corner coming up for eye health. Another thing is autoimmune conditions. So Dry eyes are from dehydration, but also they can be from conditions or autoimmune conditions when things have just gotten too bad. And there's ways around that. There are some healthy approaches and some tweaks that you can do to your lifestyle and your diet that can help improve your eye health. Some people feel like, once it's late, it's late. And for some conditions, slight blindness is a thing. Blindness is a thing. And macular degeneration is a thing. What we're trying to talk about now is before it gets to that part. How do we have prevention and how do we have maintenance? That's what we talk. That's the main crux of our platform here is empowerment, education, prevention, and maintenance. So for MicroHabits, one of the first MicroHabits is the 20-20-20 rule. And this rule pretty much says that if you're looking at a screen, whether it's a laptop or a device that has a blue light for 20 minutes, what you want to do is look away 20 feet, somewhere off 20 feet for about 20 seconds to reset. And this has been known to help with not overdoing it with the eyes and the blue light. And we'll talk more about blue light and what affects blue light and why it throws off sleep, why it throws off cortisol, your adrenals, and it just is really bad business when you're exposed to blue light all day for extended amount of time without any eye relief or without using, gadgets to help you, like a blue light glasses. I use that by my bed. It's by my bed most times because sometimes we doom scroll. As nobody's perfect. You doom scroll, or you're doing that last email, or you got a business idea and you're trying to get it all out. Or sometimes people like reading, or you like watching a Netflix series. There are things you can do to help protect your eyes. And you just got to figure out what are those tools and what are those devices to help support better eye health, especially if you have to be behind a screen most of the day to support your family or to support your lifestyle. Sunglasses for UV protection. Some people use sunglasses just because it looks cool, but sunglasses are a great way to protect your eyes, especially from direct sunlight and being exposed to a lot of sun. And it's funny, I like skiing, and skiing, to me, I feel like that's when the sun is the worst because it's bouncing off of the ice. That's why you see some of them with the goggles. I wear my goggles because it's protecting my eyes from the sun. You think you're skiing and there's no sun. It's not so much the actual heat of the sun, it's the rays that you're trying to protect your eyes from. And direct exposure can affect eye health. That's where you get your headaches from. That's when all things start to trigger because you're not supporting good eye health. So good pair of sunglasses. You don't got to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on sunglasses. Get you a good pair of sunglasses. Make sure they have a UV protection on them. And that is another micro habit you can do. Anybody can do that when you're going out in the sun or when you're driving. It's not good enough just to kind of block your eyes or put the visor down. But if you're going to be in the sun for more than 15 to 20 minutes, get a pair of sunglasses and support your eye health. And last but not least, you guys hear me say this often. This is one of my favorite micro habits. Sleep, sleep, sleep. So sleep helps eye restoration, eye repair, and eye health. When you're sleeping, this is helping with the hydration. This is also helping with the tear ducts. This is helping with all of the reset that happens from what you put on your eyes that day. That's where sleep coming in. So if you were up for 20 hours and you're looking at screens and you're driving, so you're looking at distances and you're in the sun and you're looking in dark spaces, when you go to sleep for only 4 hours or 5 hours, that's not supporting good eye health. So you want to make sure that sleep is a priority when it comes to your eye health, because let's be honest, our eyes are doing so much day to day. We are looking at a lot. And I think with our generation in this time and age, there's so much digital. There's so many screens. Screens are everywhere. They're close to our eyes. And we need to support that recovery with good sleep, 7 to 8 hours. Just make sure you give your eyes a chance to reset. Let them close, let them rehydrate, let them repair, because it's going to be needed for the next day, especially for some of you go-getters out there. You're building generational wealth and you're out there, maybe finishing school, you're increasing your education or whatever the case may be, or caring for a loved one. You need to be in a really solid position for yourself and the people who count on you. So let's take our eye health a little bit serious. But again, this is a shameless plug for sleep health. take care of your sleep. Episode 3 or 4, we did sleep health. So go check it out. One of our podcast archives. Now, my favorite part is superfoods. So let's talk about some foods that you can be intentional about and you can add to your arsenal. So carrots. I mean, what's up, Doc? You all know Bugs Bunny. Everyone, growing up, a common thing we hear, carrots are good for the eyes. But why? They have carotene, or I should say beta carotene, and they're good for vision, especially for night vision. However, there's a lot of components to just eating carrots or things that have carotenoids or carotene or beta carotene. You need to also make sure that there is absorption, and you need to also make sure that you are in a state that you're able to have a bioavailability of that nutrient. So it's not just eating carrots. When we, on Saturday, when we get in Coach's Corner, we're gonna dive a little deeper on the nutrient component of eating carrots with the beta carotene, because we know there's a lot of other things that have beta carotene. We look at foods that are orange. There's also some foods that are red, and you wanna support that with good eye health. But we also wanna know, if we just eat a carrot, is that gonna help? No, it's not just eating a carrot. Sometimes you might have to cook the carrot to break down some of the cell walls for better absorption. Maybe you might want some iron or some lutein in it, or some zeaxanthin, which is an antioxidant we're going to talk about in a little bit. That's what you may also need to help support your beta carotene absorption. Again, it's a science to it, but not to overcomplicate it. Beta carotene, carrots, great food to incorporate in your diet. You can do it, juice it, but it's even better to lightly steam them to break down some of the cell wall. But if you're juicing it, you're breaking down the cell walls too, and it's a great way. Smoothies is another great way. Eating it raw is also a great way. But again, the more you know, the better strategy you have. Spinach, powerhouse. Spinach, they're really good for your eye health. And it makes it because those two things I talk about, lutein and zeaxanthin. I always get that word mixed up, but zeaxanthin are good for retina protection. Now, zeaxanthin has been known to help with protecting from blue light. So exposure from blue light, this antioxidant has been known, especially in conjunction with lutein and zinc, helps with better absorption, but also with better protection. So this is helping the eyeball when it comes to the blue light to protect your body and to help with regulation. However, if you don't have enough zeaxanthins or lutein, the body doesn't create it, it comes from diet and lifestyle, then what happens is you have overexposure to blue light and your eyes aren't keeping up with it. So this is why diet and lifestyle are so important. Sometimes life is life and you have to be behind a screen or you have to be around devices for a long amount of time because that's your profession or that's your hobby or that's just your love language, who knows? But I'm saying make sure that you supplement it with a lifestyle and a diet to support that. So that way you're not just taxing your body without giving it the proper help or backup. You know what I mean? And last but not least, sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are rich in vitamin E, and this helps for oxidative defense. So you want to make sure that there's free radicals and there's other things happening in your body. It could be from environment, whether bad, air quality, pollutants. There's a lot of stressors in the air that's affecting your eyes. Dust, allergies, mildew, mold. There's things going on that you can't see with the naked eye that your body is protecting you against all day long. Trust me, it's protecting it against wind, exposure to light. When your eyes are exposed in dark spaces for too long, it adjusts, but it's also protecting you from that. Our diets, when we are eating ultra processed foods, when we are smoking, when we are excessively drinking, this is affecting our eyes. Also, when it comes to a lack of lifestyle, so not sleeping properly, not staying active, these are also things that contribute to poor eye health. So what are you saying, Chef? I'm saying that you want to make sure you're supporting it with things like sunflower seeds, like spinach, like carrots, because this is going to help with the micro habits that you are instilling, better sleep. What's the other thing? 20-20-20 rule, and also making sure you're wearing your sunglasses. And if you're nearsighted or farsighted, you're supporting that as well. And also you're looking out for some of the red flags that pop up. Now, from a naturopathic holistic standpoint, this is something going a little deeper. Bilberry extract has been known to improve circulation in the small eye vessels. So again, here's some natural ways that Earth is providing for you to look into. So look it up. I mean, there's a lot of great sources, or work with a dietitian, a nutritionist, a health coach, or your trusted primary physician who's going to recommend you or refer you to a specialist. Talk to an herbalist. And how do you do the bilberry extract? Like, are you steeping it? Is it a powder? That's where your work comes in on the best practices for adding this extract to your arsenal. But again, you now have another thing that you can use for better eye health, especially if you're getting older and you're having some of the red flags that we talked about earlier. And instead of just carrots and spinach and some of the other things that zeaxanthins have in lutein, you have papaya, you have orange juice, goji berries are really good with this. Egg yolks. There's a number of foods that you can incorporate in your diet that will support good eye health, not just carrots. But also we want to get outside of just produce. And like I said, I like spices, I like herbs. Paprika. Paprika is also good with zeaxanthins, and lutein is pretty much has those items in it as well. I think more so the zeaxanthin has that. But when you combine it with lutein, they really work synergistically to help support better eye health. And another thing is omega-3s. So chia seeds, flax seeds, healthy fish, wild caught fish. These are good for contributing to good eye health. And they also have been known to help reduce dry eyes. These are known as like lubricants. These are healthy fats and healthy antioxidants. So when you team this up with some of those MicroHabits and some of the other things we spoke about, you are really setting your eyes up for better health. And this doesn't matter if you're wearing glasses, contacts, had LASIK, or has good 20/20 vision. Another thing is warm compress supports tear ducts. Like I told you earlier, I had tear duct issues where they were blocked. So instead of running out to the store looking for, things on the shelf, over the counter, quick fixes, there's some natural things I can do to help with natural stimulation. Warm eye compress, just pressed over the eyes, will help to release some of the oils and help break up some dirt or whatever is going on in there. Obviously, you want a good eye wash. After a good eye wash, then you want to do a warm compress and then allow the oils and the glands to naturally kind of fix and repair themselves. It's just, another trick the naturopathic way. And last but not least, hydration and electrolytes. Not just hydration, not just drink water, 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 water. Everyone says drink water, 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 water. That's okay. But also make sure that you're hydrating your hydration. I always say that. You have coconut water. You also have watermelon juice, which is my absolute favorite. And you have other components like healthy fats like avocados and coconut oil, coconut milk. You have a lot of natural lubricants that will help with electrolytes, but also with hydration, because that balance is going to support you in reducing dry eyes. Also is going to help with, may help with reducing strain and just what comes with blurry vision. Now, myths. Myth number one. So it says sitting too close to the TV ruins your eyes. Now, we've heard that as kids. Hey, don't sit too close to the TV. It's going to mess up your eyes. Now, it will cause a strain to them, but it's not going to permanently cause damage. What is going to cause damage is the overexposure, how long you're sitting in front of the TV. Now, again, I'm not telling you to go run out and sit in front of a TV or sit so close to your iPad, but I want to remove that fear, that propaganda fear, part of, hey, don't sit too close, because guess what? Our phones are this close and our laptops are pretty close and our computers are close and sometimes our TVs are close. But what I'm saying is that don't get tripped up that sitting close to the TV is damaging your eyes, which is not the distance that you're sitting from the TV. Or if you're at the movie theater, some people love sitting in the front. I don't get that, but much love to you. That's not in itself is going to damage your eyes. It's the exposure of how long you're doing that that's going to damage your eyes, especially if you're not getting enough rest and you don't have a good lifestyle to support it, as far as diet and exercise and all that fun stuff. Glasses, myth number 2, glasses make your eyesight worse. Listen, they help you see clearly. However, they don't weaken your eyes. And and this is something that I want to talk even more with our guest for Saturday's podcast, Coach's Corner, because people are scared to wear glasses and contacts because they feel like that means that your eyes are stopped trying. It's just going to rely on the glasses. No, that is a myth. And we'll clear that up with the doc when she comes on. But from my standpoint, that is a myth, because glasses aren't there to weaken your eyes. They're there to help you see clearly. But this is why prevention and maintenance is important. And this is why I'm sharing with you all some tips, micro habits, foods, and just red flags to look out for, because you still got to do your part. The glasses are going to do their part, but you still need to make sure you're supporting your body and your health with your lifestyle, especially as a flexitarian. You guys know I'm a flexitarian, so I'm big on and very intentional on what I eat. I'm still a foodie, so I love food. I'm a chef before I'm a nutritionist. I always say that. So I'm going to be very intentional about what I'm eating and how I'm eating it. But I'm still gonna have my fun. Food is never gonna be the enemy for me, you guys. You know that, especially if you've been following me. And the third myth: carrots alone can fix poor vision. Truth is, carrots do help, but vision, like I just said, requires a balanced diet and a healthy lifestyle. If you didn't get anything else from this podcast, this is what we're talking about. Making sure that you're not just relying on glasses, you're not just relying on carrots or spinach, you're not just relying on sunflower seeds or the 20-20-20 rule. You're not just relying on your sunglasses or sleep. You're putting all of these tools together as a strategy to make sure you're supporting good eye health. Because when you know better, what? You're right, you do better. And when you're doing better, you're supporting yourself as well as the people who are counting on you. Because you got people counting on you, you really do. Whether you're building a business, whether you're finishing school, whether you're taking your company to the next level, if it's the company you started or a company you're working for, whether you're an educator or you're a frontline worker, whether you're serving in our military, thank you for your service. No matter what you're doing or what you're working on, your eyes should be respected and protected. Now, there are people who have lost their eyesight. There are people who are blind and people who have color distortion. They're colorblind. And there's people who are legally blind. And they're still doing the best they can. Shout out to that community, because I have so much respect for people who are dealing with eyesight challenges like that and still getting out there and doing it. So again, community, I love you guys for following. This is another Health is Wealth, and I'm just here to make sure you're getting paid. This is something that I'm enjoying. I love the support. Keep sending your comments. Put your questions down there so we can share it with the doc on Saturday. And again, I truly appreciate you all. Thank you for following me on this journey. I'm having so much fun. I'm learning a lot. I hope you're learning a lot. And until next time, yum. Oh, that's my timer. Until next time, yum on. I appreciate you all. Mwah.